I admired his simple way of life and his direct manner, but above all, I loved his silence. The few words that he spoke from silence to silence were his most beautiful moments, and in silence I will join in his memory.
איפה ישנה עוד אנשים כמו האיש ההוא אשר היה כערבות הבוכיות.
Had I been given the choice, then of all places on earth I would choose Kfar Czion. I have no doubt that every bit of land in Gush Etzion belongs to us. We must reach the spot and redeem the place from its disgrace.
למרגלות הנולד ליד הנחל בחורף שם בין ערבות בוכיות.
You really are a beautiful baby and give us much joy and pleasure. In the meantime, everything else that you do is nothing special, but you fill all of our free time and thoughts.
Dear Avinamle, seeing you dance in bed makes my heart rejoice. My only sorrow is remembering your grandparents who may never get to know you and enjoy your cleverness, a pain too great to put in writing.
Avinעם was born in Kfar Czion. His parents, Leah and Shlomo-Chaimowicz, were among the founding settlers of the religious kibbutz in the Hebron Hills. 3 years of a happy childhood that were spent in the magnificent mountain scenery were uprooted during the War of Independence. Mother Leah, Avinעם, and his sister Ophira were evacuated to Jerusalem. The day of the declaration of the State of Israel, Gush Etzion and most of its defenders fell in battle. The members of the kibbutz that survived, mostly widows and orphans, moved to Givat Aliyah, near Jaffa, and there they tried to maintain their kibbutz way of life. Only by chance you didn't also become an orphan like the other children of the kibbutz. I never permitted you to call your father Abba in the presence of the other children. Grandma told me that when you were a youngster, she sent you for private lessons in math. At the end of the year, you received a high mark. Only when you returned the full sum of money to her did she realize that you studied with no help.
When we moved to Ramat Gan, you had friends, but your real friends were the children from Kfar Czion. The heritage of Gush Etzion and the plan to return home were always an ambition to be achieved. Our trip to America as an Israeli emissary was a crisis for you, and all our attempts to compensate you with the wonders of America didn't succeed. My English is improving, but sometimes I don't understand a certain word, so I just smile and nod my head. In such a circumstance, someone might call me an idiot, and I'll smile and agree. You wanted to join your friends who enlisted in the army. I opposed your return to Israel before graduating high school. Within 5 weeks, you completed your matriculation exams and went to enlist. Prior to our basic training, we were in Kibbutz Eliyahu, where you got your nickname Pachpach. When we arrived at Battalion 50 of the paratroopers, everyone knew you as Pachpach. As Company Sergeant Major, you knew how to encourage your soldiers with your wit and kind words. You have a face that asks for another inspection, or go to the supply room and ask for a better appearance. These expressions were quickly adopted by all. When you completed your military service, you were trying to decide what to study. I love literature and economics, mechanics and electronics, They all interest me. I went for vocational advice. You are talented enough to learn anything that interests you, I was told. So what help was that? I realized that I must make my own decisions. You decided to study mechanical engineering at the Technion. During the Six-Day War, you were among those who liberated Jerusalem. When I asked you if you were one of the first to arrive at the Wailing Wall, you said, I didn't care for all the commotion and photographs, and with a smile you added, I knew that the Wailing Wall wouldn't go anyplace. You didn't say much about the war, and when you did mention something, you always used the term we. The word I didn't exist in your dictionary.
My dear Avi, do you remember that day when you first appeared in the dining room and made everyone laugh? I asked, who is that guy? A clown, I was told, one that left the Technion to devote himself to the establishment of the kibbutz. 6 months later, we were the first couple to be married in the liberated Kfar Chatzion. You then told me you are witnessing one of the most magnificent miracles that is taking place in our generation.
נפגשות לדק, נפרדות לעד.
When Orit was born, your love for her was overwhelming. And when Ronnie was born, you were the happiest man on earth. You nicknamed them Fusfus and Tsutzik, teeny and tiny. Our baby son Levi was born less than a week before the war. You nicknamed him Lebush. To this very day, everyone calls him by this nickname.
לא יוכל למצוא את אשר עבר.
My dear Avile, 2 weeks before the war, we climbed the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem to visit my father's grave, and jokingly I said, it's about time to reserve a place. Very seriously, you replied, if something happens to me, I wish to be buried in Kfar Chatzion. That land is sacred to me. During the Yom Kippur service, you first heard that the war broke out. You came home and packed a few things, including a siddur and your tefillin. The following day was the circumcision of our son Levi. I stood on the porch of our house waiting, sure that you would come. My waiting was in vain. As you left home, I blessed you. May you go and return in peace. But you never returned.
אמת כי אתה הוא דיין ומוכיח ויודע
Avina'am's company was one of the first units to cross the Suez Canal and advance north in order to widen the bridgehead. On the night following the holiday of Simchat Torah, the Egyptian commando attacked the northern ramp of the bridgehead. Avina'am ran towards the line of fire. After the enemy was repelled, his friends found him close to the fire line, lifeless.
ותזכור כל הנשכחות ותפתח ספר הזיכרונות.
On the first Memorial Day for Israeli soldiers following the war, I decided not to visit your temporary grave in Be'eri. As always, I'll continue our custom and attend the memorial service on Mount Herzl for our friends from Gush Etzion who fell in the War of Independence. I will be there like in previous years, and you will be there with me, a part of me, and together we will join in their memory.
Avi, just as the widows of Kfar Chatzion had to go on functioning, so did I. I tried to escort our children through the course of their lives in a manner that you would have chosen for them. When Orit, Ronny, and Lebush got married in Kfar Cyon, we used your tallis that returned from the battlefront without you, and spread it over them as a chuppah, a canopy, and we felt your presence.
זה עבר, זה נגמר, קצה חלום ודי.
My dear brother, I miss you. I miss your logic, your sense of righteousness, and I often wonder how you would react to topics in the news today. Abba, 30 years have passed since you packed your suitcase and didn't return, despite the fact that you promised to do so. I still remember many moments that we shared, things that you said, words spoken at my level. I treasure these moments and take them with me always, searching for your eyes, sometimes in vain. When I was 28, your age when you were killed, Dor Avina'am, my eldest son, was 3 years old, my age when I was orphaned. Because of his relationship to my husband Dror, I understand how much I loved you and how I missed you as a child, and how much I miss you today. Something inside me got stuck at that same age when you left.
Every year, my birthday marks another year that you aren't with us. In your absence, I married Nurit, and we have 2 children, Noam and Liad. Both of them look at your picture and say, "Here's Abba." I was always told that we resemble each other, and I want to tell you something else. After giving Noam her name, Hanan came up to me with much excitement and said, "Now you are Avi Noam, the father of Noam." This cannot be a coincidence.
כמו עלייה